Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A household is considered food secure if the household has access at all times throughout the year to food for an active, healthy life for all household members. According to the February 18, 2020 article published by the Nova Scotia Finance and Treasury Board, Nova Scotia households are the least food secure in all of Canada at 84.7%. Those are not statistics that we should be proud of, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I understand that there are all kinds of factors that affect food security, but in our province in particular, we don't produce very much food that actually Nova Scotians produce. So I'd ask the Minister of Agriculture what bold plans are in place within his department to be able to kickstart food production in this province.
The Honourable Minister of Agriculture.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, last Saturday we announced our new Buy Local campaign under Taste of Nova Scotia. It's a program of raising awareness of food that's produced in Nova Scotia. As we move to complete food security in the province, it's going to take us some time. There was goals set in the past, but the goals were set for a number of farms, not the amount of food we were producing, and there was no way of measuring it. So we're going to put a new system in to measure what kind of results we're getting, and indeed we want to become 100% self-sufficient in the province.
The Honourable Member for Kiburn-Richmond.
Mr. Speaker, according to the Nova Scotia Finance and Treasury Board's article dated January 6, 2020 on Nova Scotia's total trade for 2018, Nova Scotia imports amounted to $29 billion. Nova Scotia is heavily reliant upon others to provide us with food, fuel, and supplies. And we saw with recent protests and blockades and with Hurricane Dorian that we're really exposed with regard to food and fuel insecurities in this province. So I'm going to ask the the Minister for EMO, what do we have in place to ensure that Nova Scotians are prepared in the event of a supply system is cut off or interrupted?
The Honourable Minister responsible for the Emergency Measures Organization.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate the question. We certainly work in this most recent example with regards to the blockades, and I'll speak to that. We are twice weekly checking in with our provincial, municipal, and critical infrastructure partners to see what the status of supply is. We have a relationship with all of those folks. We'll continue to do so. We will work with our federal partners as well to ensure that supply chain is open and how we do alter when we need to do to make sure that we have the necessary supplies, such as food and other things like propane that has been an issue that we've heard about. Thank you very much.
The Honourable Member